You've mentioned in the past that Taoism is a system of living, or a system of human methods. Very briefly, what does that mean?
Well, let's take a stark example that's the counterexample. With ancient Egyptian religion, most of your time was spent preparing for the afterlife. And that developed in very early Egypt. It wasn't as likely as large of an issue, but the entire system of death cult and preparation for afterlife became dominant over time.
Oh, of course.
So the function of life was to prepare for death. In Taoism, the function of life is to live life. It's not to prepare for death. There's essentially, while you have, I would say, the mixed sects, so Taoism that combined with Buddhism, or Taoism that combined with Confucianism, or one of the other native folk traditions of early China, pure Taoism, so Taoism without those overlays, doesn't have any concept of afterlife or even really a concern about death. So the focus is instead on the thing that you can control and the thing that you can do, which is right here, right now, and with your body. And so it's not anti-body, it is pro-body, because you live in your body. That's what you experience the world with. That's how you interact. A whole variety of those other factors.
That's why the concentration on health and longevity and mental health, physical health, strength, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is what you got. Make the best use of it as you choose to. And so you can make a tremendous use of it, dramatically extend your life, achieve high levels of mental and physical health. And those are all good options for you, but it's your life. You can choose to either pursue that or not pursue that. Taoism doesn't directly judge you for that. And in fact, it avoids judgment in general. There are many passages with regards to that if you're a textualist. And besides the fact that judgment is essentially a burden that you choose to pick up and walk with, rather than having any particular impact on the person you're judging. So.
Yeah, that's true. So that's what you mean by a system of human methods. It's simply a system of living your best life.
Well, it's a system of human methods means it was created by humans, essentially through trial and error. And then as the problem with trial and error is in the beginning it's mostly error, but then as trial goes along it stops being mostly error. You start isolating the things that work better. And so Taoism essentially developed science thousands of years prior to its emergence within Europe and follows those exact same principles. Now there was always going to be a pull towards ideology, which is belief without any basis in fact, or even reason or logic. And so there's always going to be that desire for people to have it be like that, but that's actually not Taoism. So the Taoism has a grounding in human experience, and that human experience is used to generate knowledge for humans. So if you ask yourself, why are we here? Most of the times the things that a person is disappointed about in life has to deal with the fact that their life doesn't fit them. For example, they're in the economy of their given country, yet they serve the economy and the economy does not serve them.
Right.
Whereas the economy should be a reflection of human activity, it instead tries to control and dictate human activity and does so to the detriment of humans. So that's just one example that's closer to the day-to-day life of a person, which is the reason I went with that particular topic.
Right. So not just a collection, Taoism is not just a random collection of human methods, because those could be positive or negative or detrimental or constructive, but very specifically it's a collection of proven human methods to
achieve the type of life that you want. So at a basic level, it's a healthy, moderately happy, moderately successful life, which is a thing that you should be able to do with some ease within Taoism. Now, if you're in a very harsh survival circumstance, that's different. That's going to take time, and you have to work your way through the process of surviving, which is a process of rapidly prioritizing things that allows you to live and get to the next opportunity. But most people, for the general good of the world, are not in that position right now. If you are, certainly you're not going to use the art of living, you would use the art of surviving, which nobody's actually ever written. So but the art of living is designed to produce that type of moderate life that is reasonably happy. And it's been a goal through many cultures. It was to go back to our Egyptian friends, it was a goal in Egypt for most of Egypt's history through something called the Ma'at, which is a kind of the ideal life or the happy life, in addition to being at times a god, at times a religious principle, at times an organizing principle for the universe. And for the Greeks, or the Greek religion, that would be the golden mean.
Of course, yeah.
When they're saying everything in moderation, if you look at how it breaks down, it's like, well, create a moderate life and you'll have this type of happy, successful life as it rolls through.
Yes.
And now for a very ambitious person, they're going to have to imbalance things in order to gain advantage, and that's going to lead to large periods of unhappiness.
Right.
Kind of by definition.
Right.
But
like a pendulum.
yeah. But so for most people, that's going to be Taoism for them. They have a moderately happy and moderately successful life. They've answered a few questions about existence, enough to provide comfort, and that's pretty much it. For a much smaller group of people, it will be the mechanisms for the pursuit of divine truth and divine power.
All right, very good.
So the big human spectrum.